80 pounds overweight to bikini ready. Hello, it's Lima, back here again with you in New Jersey, traveling for work. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's so much going on. I don't even know where to start. There's some crazy stuff going on, you guys, and it's all good. It's all good. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that came up. I was doing a training session today on these principles for a corporate team. And we were talking about the idea of there not being enough time. And it was really interesting because everybody just kind of universally accepted that that is a truth, that there's just not enough time, which is odd because time is completely a man-made construct. We made it up to make sense of everything. It's an illusion. It's not real. So what we talked about in the session was what are the ways that we could change the way we do things so that we feel like we have enough time. And I told them a story of a time when my sister, who is incredibly smart and talented and beautiful and powerful and busy with a lot of demands on her time, called me up and she was like, you know what, Limu? Somebody said once that God doesn't give you more than you can handle, and they lied. God actually does give me more than I can handle all the time. And I thought about that and I was like, So I said to her, well, what if it's not that God gives you more than you can handle? What if that there's stuff that you're not supposed to be handling that you're handling anyway? And if you would just handle what you can, then God would just take care of all the other stuff. She was like, I don't think that's right. Whatever. But anyway, I went on my merry way, just kind of assuming that that's what I wanted to believe. Like, I really don't want to believe that God ever gives me more than I can handle. I want to handle what I can and work on trusting that God's going to just figure all the rest of that stuff out. Like, for instance. So I could very well be freaked out, totally freaked out and stressed out about the fact that things are heating up with my daughter's singing career at the same exact time that things are heating up with my consulting. And how's that going to work? Like, how am I going to be able to be in like 18 places at once or even 2? And then what happened was, now I don't know if this is going to happen, but there may be an opportunity for Devin to work with somebody that she really likes in the studio. And it just so happens that it would be in Philadelphia. Just so happens it would be the week that I'm in Philadelphia. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, where I don't have to figure it out. All I have to do is what I can do. And if all this other stuff is supposed to happen, God's got to work that out. And in this case, it was like, this happened and this happened, and this got delayed, and that person was there, and that person was over there, and this person ended up here. And so it all just kind of like lined up that if this ends up happening, it will be because God was going to just make it happen. So I don't know. I know that sounds really overly simplistic, and maybe it is, but I know that there was a book called The Hour Workweek. And in this book, this guy discovered that he was really over-functioning. And so what he decided to do was he decided to only check his email 15 minutes every day, instead of what he had been doing, which was checking it every 15 minutes all throughout the day. And amazing, what happened was when he didn't check his email as often, things would just kind of work themselves out. His team would figure it out, or somebody else would pick up responsibility for it, or the problem would just go away, or whatever. But it eliminated so much stress in his life, and the outcomes were still positive. Things still worked out for the best. So I think that's an interesting thing to think about. The idea that it's not that God gives us more than we can handle, it's that we handle too much. We handle too damn much. There is one who has all power. That one is God. May I find him now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not God. There's a God. It's not me. Right? So we had this whole other situation recently where, I was all stressed out about our housing situation, and it looks as though that's also all worked out best for all involved. That's the key piece. Sometimes when we force things to happen, it ends up happening maybe in a way that we think is best for us, but maybe there was another way it could have worked out well for us that would have worked out well for everybody. People maybe we don't even know. So just think about that for a second. And honestly, it's a relief to not have to figure it all out and fix it all. Whew. So I'm here, I'm traveling, I'm doing the best I can to follow the Isogenics program, doing pretty well too. I decided that I'm going to just have really reasonable goals. Overall, I would like to lose 75 pounds. So because we're going into the holidays, I figure my goal for this year, which would be really reasonable, is just to lose 10. Just 10 between now, maybe 15, between now and the end of the year, right? So that gives me 2.5 months to lose 10, maybe 15 pounds. Then I go into 2019 with only 55, 60 pounds to lose. And then I give myself another smaller goal of, by my birthday, just losing another like 30, 35 pounds in the first 5 months. Totally reasonable. Then I have the whole rest of the year to lose the last 20. And the cool thing is, with every single achievement, I'm going to feel so much better. So that's where it's at. So I'm going to keep you guys abreast of how I'm doing with those mini goals instead of having this big, huge goal leaning down, crushing on top of me, which I can't take anymore. And yeah, that's what's happening. That's where it's at. And the last thing I'll tell you is I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine who just recently had weight loss surgery, and it's going really, really well for her. And there are probably those of you out there thinking, yeah, man, why don't you just get freaking weight loss surgery and then you'd be done? And I could do that. I could. And she and I were talking about it, and she was saying how amazing it's been. And it really has been amazing for her. No complications. She did it in Tijuana, so it wasn't really that expensive. She looks great. She's having success. And she and I have a very similar experience of trying to lose weight. So it would make sense for me to go that path. But she said, and I agree with her, that whether I like it or not, part of what my journey is in this world is to achieve these big dreams while the whole world watches. So even though it might take me longer, I'm committed to doing it this way, to figuring out how to just change what I do as far as supplements and eating and gradually move the needle to show that using the law of attraction and language and the principles that I teach, that you can achieve any dream in your life, anything, even transforming yourself from unhealthy, sitting on your behind, 80 pounds overweight, to bikini ready, super healthy, super fit, super active, super energetic, super hot. Okay, I'm crazy. I'm losing it. I'm sorry. It's been a very long week. I was traveling a lot. Just you have to excuse me. Maybe we'll edit that out. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today. I never said I wasn't in that job. I never said that. I will never say that because I'm definitely, definitely not your average bear. But but I'm here, y'all. I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. So I hope those of you like it, and I hope those of you don't start to like it.